All righty. It's Wednesday night. It's going to take a couple of moments here since I didn't run the intro for some people to join in. But since here we go. Now the clock's ticking. All right. Hey everybody. I know it's an off schedule night, but I figured we'd do a short live stream tonight. Have a drink. Uh, since we're not going to do one tomorrow. Jeff, how are you this evening?
Doing good. Relaxing.
You gonna have a drink with us tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna kill this bottle of Jack Daniels. There's enough in there, I believe, for a glass. So I'm going to. That works out to about what I would normally pour. That was perfect. So got a dead soldier. But the good news is I have another bottle of that up there somewhere. I think it's next to that Southern Star bottle right there. Yeah, I bought a new bottle of that last week. I'm gonna have to give this triple mash a second shot as well. I didn't like it as well the first taste. I'm gonna have to see how that goes. Anyway, let me see. Ryan, glad you could make it with us. Sean, Anthony, Dave. Big snow in Denver today. My wife was telling me at dinner tonight that she may be going to a conference of some sort in Denver in March. I don't know any details on that, but I know Denver's cold that time of year. Carrie Lopez, nice to have you with us, Brian. So yeah, cheers everybody. I'm going to have a little bit of this Jack Daniels. And for those of you that may not be familiar with this is a new offering from Jack Daniels. It's a bottled and bond Jack Daniels. So that's different, once again, from any other of the typical Jack Daniels offerings. It's the same recipe as all the other Jack Daniels whiskey, but it's got the bottled and bond basically means that it's bottled at 100 proof. That's really all that means these days. The bonded warehouse is a thing that's kind of a sales gimmick these days. I don't really think it holds any significance. I don't know. Back in the olden days when you couldn't trust your whiskey distiller to give you good stuff, the bonded warehouse assured you that whatever they were selling you was what they said it was in terms of age and whatnot. I don't know what the age on it. Most of the Jack Daniel's stuff is 4 years. I don't know if it says anything on this bottle. It says for at least 4 years, so I'm figuring it's right at 4 years. The bottled in bond on this label says distilled by a single distiller during a single season and matured in a government bonded warehouse for at least 4 years. And also, I think that everything that has the bottled in bond label is bottled at 100 proof. Jack Daniels doesn't bottle much of anything at 100 proof. That's other than their barrel proof stuff. Jeff, have you tried any of the Jack Daniels stuff besides the old number 7 and the Gentleman Jack?
Just those two.
Just those?
Yeah. I'm going to get a bottle of the bonded next.
I think you should. I think you'll like it.
I say all my bottles are. I'm trying to keep them all nice and level and finish them off. So
yeah. Is the Gentleman Jack bottled at 80 proof?
I think it.
I don't remember now. It's been a while since I've had any.
Hang on, I'll look it up.
But the single barrel select is 90 or 92 proof, and this is 100. The single barrel select is 94 proof. It's 47%. So it's a little higher. That's one of the reasons I like this bottled in bond, this 100 proof Jack Daniels. One of the things that happens as the proof increases, that means it's been diluted less with water than than the others, and it's a flavor. There's a flavor difference. Let's see. Daniel, glad you could make it with us tonight. Daniel, I had the bark fired up today. I made a Brunswick stew in the bark. I'll have that video out, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get it published before the first part of next week or not.
Yeah, gentleman is 80.
So Gentleman Jack is 80 proof, and the regular old number 7 are 80 proof. But you can taste the difference in those two. That simple filtering difference that they go through does make a smoother whiskey for sure.
Have you tried any of the Willer yet, John?
Any of the what?
Willer.
I don't have any Weller.
Oh.
Yeah, I've not once seen a bottle of Weller anywhere near me. So if I ever come across some, I'll buy it. But it's not something that's. I'll take it back. I've seen it. It's been available in the lottery at my local shop, but it's not been the green label. That bottom end, they've had the 107 and they've had the.
That's what I have. 107.
Yeah, they've had the foolproof in a lottery before, and then they've had the William LaRue Weller, which is the top dog from the Weller line. I've seen that in the lottery, but I've never had an opportunity to buy it. Weller is something I would buy. I will buy it when I get a chance, but I don't know when that might be. Yes, Ryan, there will be a Brunswick stew video. I don't know when I'm going to get it published. I shot it today, but I didn't get it edited, and I'm tied up after this live stream is over. I'm tied up for the next 3 or 4, 5 days. I'm tied up till no later than Monday for sure. I'm going to be helping my mom out. My mom's having a shoulder replacement surgery in the morning. I'm taking her to that, and I'll be there all day with that tomorrow. But it should be an outpatient surgery. She should get to come home tomorrow, and but I'm staying with her tomorrow night and making sure everything goes smoothly. So, and then I'll be coming home Friday. Then I'll have to turn around and go to work my overnight shifts for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I don't know when I'm going to edit that video, but it won't likely be before Monday. So I'll probably get it published either Monday night or Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. The recipe that I'm using is not much different from the last one I did on the Atlanta Grill Company video. I made one minor tweak in it. I added just a tiny amount of cayenne pepper to it this time around. Jeff, do you like Brunswick stew?
Oh, heck yeah.
You ever made any?
Oh, yeah.
I've made a couple of videos on. I think I've made 2 videos on it now. I made one on the Kamado Joe channel, and I made another one on the Atlanta Grill Company channel. And the first time I make it, I put okra in it, and a lot of people didn't like that. Man, but I like it. I like okra. And
I love okra, so
well,
not going to get any bad feelings from me.
The thing about Brunswick stew is I look at Brunswick stew like meatloaf. It's a great way to get rid of leftovers. And
well, that's
you
what
can
it was
make it
started out as. It wasn't
yeah.
a meal. It was, okay, we got a little bit of this, we got a little bit of that, we got a little bit of that. Let's all throw it in a pot and see what we get. And that's, that's pretty much where Brunswick stew came from.
Well, I use pulled pork in this one because I've got plenty of it. And but there's no reason in the world that you couldn't make Brunswick stew with shredded chicken. You could make it with pork tenderloin or pork loin. You could make it with
Brisket.
beef. Yeah, you could make it with brisket. You could make it with chuck. Any kind of leftover meat you've got, you can use as a base for Brunswick stew, or you can mix them. I've seen people put 2 or 3 different meats, and in in theory, you could do this with ground beef. There's no reason you couldn't brown ground beef and use it as a base in Brunswick stew. But so the Brunswick stew, basically, I started out with pulled pork, and then to the pulled pork, I put in crushed tomatoes, chicken stock, uh, barbecue sauce, a little brown sugar, a little salt, a little barbecue seasoning, a little barbecue rub, a little cayenne pepper, and I put in some diced potatoes. I put in whole kernel corn and some baby lima beans in this batch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I put it in my large Dutch oven. I've got a 7-quart Lodge Dutch oven, and I use that Dutch oven on this cook. I put it on the bark at 275 with the lid off for about an hour. And every 15 minutes, I went out and stirred it. I'm trying to, put just a little extra smoke flavor to it. And then I put the lid on it. And about an hour later, I went ahead and ramped the temperature up to about 325 to get a simmer going. I had a big enough batch in that big Dutch oven. I wasn't getting the simmer going at 275, so I ramped it up. I needed it to simmer to get it to finish off, so I went for about 2 hours. So yeah, Ryan, that'll be coming. And out of that recipe I made, I got about 16 cups out of that recipe. I packaged that up in 1.5 cup servings or so, and I got about 16 cups total out of that. So it's good stuff. I'm probably going to take some of that to work over the weekend this weekend. So, Peter,
And you know what? It's also pretty much keto friendly.
Say what?
Nah, not really. Not really.
This is not keto friendly at all.
Not because of the potatoes and the corn. No, forget that.
No, it's got barbecue sauce in it, or it's got sweet barbecue sauce in it. It's got brown sugar, and tomatoes. Tomatoes are not keto friendly.
No.
Nah, this wouldn't be keto friendly.
No, but it's not a bad diet.
It's not bad. This is something you can't eat a whole lot. You shouldn't eat a whole lot of this at one time anyway. It's up here. I don't know how it is in the rest of the country, but a lot of barbecue restaurants serve Brunswick stew as a side, and a couple of the ones around here do. But the side you get's a very small side. It's like a half a cup. It comes in one of those little small styrofoam containers with the lid, and it's a side item. But it can also be a meal. You can make a meal out of Brunswick stew quite easily. So, Boater wants to know what makes a stew Brunswick. Well, I think the name comes from, I actually took a peek at the Wikipedia entry on Brunswick stew today because I was trying to figure out where it originated, and the name Brunswick is based on where people think it originated, but they can't decide if it was Georgia, North Carolina, or Virginia. So I don't really know where it originated. Everybody wants to lay claim to it, but I think it is based on where people thought it was created. It's the Brunswick is for Brunswick County, whatever.
Brunswick, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep. But
other than that, the name.
Depending on what source you use, it's from all over. They got it overseas. I mean.
Yeah. So Russ is with us. Russ, glad you could make it in here tonight. What was it I watched that he was working on? I watched one of Russ's videos. Now I can't remember. I watched it yesterday and I can't remember what it was. I've looked at so many YouTube videos this week. I've lost track of what Russ did this week. So yeah, Russ, I hope things are going well. Russ, I watched another video Russ had. He's got one of these monster mixers from Vivor. It's like a 10-quart stand mixer. It's a beast. I'm trying to work with Vivor as well. I applied for their affiliate program, and I've been looking around at what they have. They've got a mixer that I'd like to have, but it's not available currently through their affiliate program. And I'm talking to the people about it, to see if they'll make it available, because I want to get their spiral mixer, and I want to do pizza dough and bread doughs with that spiral mixer. But when I was looking, they only have a handful of things that were available for me to apply for samples, and I'm not going to apply for stuff just to be getting it. I want something. If I apply for something, it's going to be because I think it would be useful to my audience. And currently, they got a meat slicer. They asked me if I would take, but to me it doesn't look like it's not a really right meat slicer. They've got some that are close to the one I gave you, Jeff, and some that are even better than that, but they weren't currently part of their offerings. They had a mixer that's a planetary style mixer, kind of like a KitchenAid, that was $110 that they wanted me to take, and I didn't take that either. So I'm trying to figure out how to get off the ground with that company. I know Tom Horseman does a lot of Vevor stuff, and I think they might have something worked out where I might have to take something they've got and make an affiliate sale with it somehow or another before they'll let me move up the ladder to get some of the nicer stuff. But we'll see. If that's the case, I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just buy that spiral mixer when the time comes, because I want one. And that one is a really nice price compared to all the other spiral mixers. Jeff, that spiral mixer that Freddie has is like $1,300 or $1,400. It's really expensive. And this one, while I know it's not quite as nice as the one that Freddie's got, it's $539. It's a third of the cost. And because of that, I'd like to get one and try making pizza dough with it and see how it pans out, because I really think, I don't know, for me, it's going to be a stretch for a lot of people. Yeah, that's what Russ did, that deboned chicken, because I was thinking about that. I said, the other week when I was talking about stuff I want to do this year, learning to properly and efficiently debone a chicken, something I want to do this year. And Russ did one. He did that video, and it was very nice. He stuffed it with boudin. He stuffed it with some of his homemade sausage, and it looked really good. The results of that cook were fantastic. And I've watched a ton of video. I've only deboned once, and I happen to have a duck in my refrigerator that I needed to do something with, so I deboned the duck, and I did it successfully. It wasn't quite as pretty as I would like for it to have been, but a duck is a little harder to work with than a chicken. I don't know how to explain. Jeff, maybe you can chime in here on this. The duck carcass does not flex quite like the chicken carcass does. It's a sturdier bird. It was a little bit harder for me to work the duck, but I got two really nice, clean duck breasts, boneless duck breasts off of that I did some other stuff with. But duck breasts are something. Publix is the only grocery store anywhere around here that has duck breasts, and they're very small duck breasts. They're like 6 ounces.
They look like quail breasts.
Yeah, and they're tiny, and they're expensive. They're quite expensive. And if I want to try that Wild Fork Foods and see, I think they've got some duck breast. I might try to order some from them, because I want to do a duck l'orange with duck breast. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I think Publix may be carrying those ducks year round now, because I know I saw some in there after the first of the year. I think it's called Maple Leaf Farms. It's the only brand of duck I've ever seen available for sale in my area. So, Jack, I'm drinking Jack tonight. I finished off this bottle I had of the Jack Daniel's Bonded. So that's what's in my glass tonight. Russ, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Russ. Please don't do that. Turducken. I know everybody that might not know what a turducken is, but it's a turkey stuffed with a duck, stuffed with chicken. And it's one of these things that I like to say is a novelty cook. Jeff, I'm getting some feedback from you all of a sudden.
I'll just put my earbud in. Let me drop out and come back in because I put it in after I was in.
All right. But the turducken is one of these weird things. It's one of these, I don't know. If Russ does it, I'm sure it's going to come out amazing. So I'll watch and see how Russ comes out with that. Russ, I'll watch you. I'll watch you do that. Then we'll have a look, and I'll maybe reevaluate my opinion of what a turducken is. And Boater says stuffed deboned chicken. Gonna have to check that out. Yeah, it's really neat. So there we go. We got Jeff back.
Is that better?
Oh yeah. So it's one of these situations. We'll figure it out. But I've seen some stuffed chicken that I think was really incredible, and I want to do some of that. I want to play around with it, and I love the concept of doing that where you just slice pieces of that off down like you'd slice a pork loin or something when you're done with it. They're pretty, the presentation's nice, but I don't know why I'm so afraid of it. I made up my mind that, like I said, this year I'm going to do it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go buy a couple of chickens. I might buy 4 or 5 chickens, and I'm going to spend a day, and I'm going to do them. I'm going to do one after the other until I'm comfortable with it. And I don't know what I'm going to do with all that chicken meat, but when it's deboned, I'm very likely will grind. I'll take the skin off of it and I'll grind a good bit of it because I like to do things with ground chicken, and I've got a nice meat grinder. So we'll grind some chicken, maybe make some chicken chili with a big die. Chili's going to be coming up pretty soon. I want to do something. My version of chili that I like to do is a lot like over the top chili, but it's not the. I'm not making a ball of ground beef and setting it over the top of a Dutch oven that's got other stuff in it. I do smoke my meat. I typically don't use ground beef. Kevin's in the house. Your mic's off.
Yeah, because I'm muting him out.
Yeah, that's
my,
okay.
My son's coming home, so he's welcoming.
But the way I make my chili is I smoke the meat, and I smoke a couple other things. I like to put a sheet pan on the smoker, and I use diced meat. I start with diced beef typically, and I'll use chuck a lot of times, or I can use brisket or whatever. Brisket's less expensive than chuck sometimes, depending on what you buy. But I dice it and put it on a sheet pan, and I like to put my onions and my tomatoes, some of my tomatoes, on that pan as well, and get the smoke to that. And then everything that's in that pan goes into a Dutch oven with everything else. And at that point, most of the cook's going to be done with a capped Dutch or with a topped Dutch oven. I get enough smoke doing that. I don't know. I've never done an over the top chili, and I think one of the reasons maybe that I've avoided doing the over the top chili thing is because it's something that I think, I could be wrong on this, but it was born in the Big Green Egg community. So maybe because of that, I don't have anything against Big Green Egg, but my Kamado Joe background and my Kamado Joe audience, I don't want to be accused of nabbing an idea from Big Green Egg. You know what I'm saying, Jeff?
Yep.
I don't have anything against Big Green Egg. Those are great smokers. I don't think they're as good as the Kamado Joes, but it's probably because I don't own one. Everybody that's got Big Green Egg, they'll stand behind their grill just like we stand behind ours, you know. But yeah. Yeah, Russ, it will get some views. I guarantee you it will. In fact, if you do that soon, I'll share it. I'll post it. I'll share it for you as well, because I'd like to get some feedback from my people as to whether or not they think it's something I should try. Uh, I don't know. We lost Jeff again. I guess he's coming back. So, Carl, I don't have a per se a pressure cooker. My wife has got an Instapot, and my pressure cooker is not something I really want to call a pressure cooker. It's a pressure canner. I could use it as a pressure cooker, but I have not used it for cooking anything. I've only used it for canning so far. Have you got something that you think I should do with a pressure cooker? If you do, let me know what you think it is, and maybe I'll participate. Yep, smoked rib, egghead for life. There you go, man. It's cool. I'm brand agnostic when it comes to somebody else's grill. I don't have any problems with Big Green Egg. It's just that my preference is with the Kamado Joe, but I don't know. I've got a history with Kamado Joe that goes back a pretty good ways now, and in the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot of difference between the two. I think over time, I think Kamado Joe's made some innovations that I'm pretty happy with and pretty proud to have been some of a part of it. And Big Green Egg is picking up on some of that now. And I think some of those options that Big Green Egg has available now have made the Big Green Egg a much more formidable grill than it was to begin with. So, want a new rib rack. I don't think, Jeff, what do you think about rib racks?
Well, only reason why I say to do rib racks is you can't get all your ribs on, so you need to put them on sideways.
Is there one, do you have a rib rack?
No, I have never needed one. Definitely don't need one with the bark.
I don't have a per se rib rack. I've got a roasting pan rack that's a lot like a rib rack, but I don't know, Brian. Maybe somebody else can chime in here and tell you that.
I mean, I don't think there's anything special about them. I think one's probably as good as the other. I mean, as long as it's got, fairly heavy build to it. I mean, its sole purpose is to stand the ribs up on it, on its side.
So
as long as it accomplishes that, you're good to go.
Yeah. He likes giving okay, Jeff, now we got a Big Green Egg guy that likes to give the pellet guys a hard time too. Oh man, I tell you, I'm gonna have to follow. I don't know if I'm following his channel or not. I'm gonna have to get on his channel and check his stuff out. I'll subscribe to your YouTube channel. I love pellet grills. Jeff and I have both developed a real love for cooking on pellet grills. And in the beginning, I used to kind of make fun of them too until we learned how to make them sing. And we got pretty good at that. Yeah, I'm getting results off of my pellet smoker that are as good as any other system I've ever cooked on. And I'm a fan. I think I'll just leave it at that. I'm trying to I'm scraping up some extra money. I'm going to be bringing another pellet grill here. Right now, my primary pellet grill is the Myron Mixon Bark 2400. Jeff and I both have that one. And I've got the Kamado Joe Pellet Joe, but once again, I don't like to call it a pellet grill. It's not like any other pellet grill, so it doesn't really fit into this category. in my opinion. It's a Kamado grill that's fired with pellets. It's not so much a pellet grill as we think about pellet grills. But this Camp Chef Woodwind Pro, I can't wait to get one of those here, because I truly believe that that's going to be the best result pellet grill I've ever cooked on. I've watched a lot of content on it, and my objective was to bring another sub $1,000 pellet grill here, because I wanted to, be cooking on a pellet grill that would appeal to more of my audience than the Mexen does, because that's an expensive grill. But the
buy once, cry once.
Yeah, it's true. But there's not a lot of people in my world that are going to put $3,000 plus out on a pellet grill. They might. Some of them would, I know, but I think there's a lot more of my audience that would drop $1,200 for a pellet grill before they drop $3,000. And this Camp Chef Woodwind, I'm gonna get one. I've got two problems. Number one, I'm still saving up a little rainy day money to buy it, and I've got to get rid of some stuff that's out here. I'm once again moving stuff out of here to bring new stuff in, and I've got some stuff I'm trying to sell and get rid of, simply so I can have room to put another pellet grill on the deck. But that's going to be it, and I'm most likely going to buy that grill sometime in February. That's my game plan. But and then I'll be bouncing around mainly in my video content between this Weber kettle, the 26-inch kettle, one or the other pellet grill, the Kamado Joe, and I want to do some more content on the Karubicue C60 as well. So we'll see how that pans out. Fran says Mixins aren't available in Canada, so
no, not yet.
They probably will be at some point. Brian, I do still have the Auto Wild. I do. That's a salamander for you guys who might not be familiar with. It's a broiler, and that's another expensive toy that I bought. I bought that. That was not provided for me, and that's $1,000 broiler, and it works extremely well. The problem is I have not really spent the time with it to learn to effectively use it. That thing puts out so much heat that it's almost difficult to cook on. I'm still trying to get the feel for it. I haven't cooked on it lately, but I do still have it.
It's one of those things you got to stay on top of.
Yeah, and I thought about selling that too, but I sat down and really decided that I'm not going to try to sell it, because in the area where I live, I'd have to take such a beating on that thing to get rid of it that I'd hate myself for selling it. The reason something like that's hard to sell is there are $250 and $350 versions of it out there that work pretty well. So it's real hard to sell a secondhand $1,000 one. So I'm gonna keep it. Maybe I'll do something else with it sometime soon. I don't know. What I really should do is try to find. No, what I should do is try to. I don't know. Russ, are you still with me? Russ, do you have one of these broilers? Do you have a salamander? I think you did. I don't remember. I don't know if
you want to sell that thing, you probably need to give it over to Luca and let him sell it for you in Atlanta. You'd have a better audience.
Oh, I definitely have a better audience in a more metropolitan area than where I am, but I'd never. It's like these PK grills. I'm trying to get rid of these PK grills, not because I don't like them, but because I'd rather be cooking on less expensive grills for my current audience. And I haven't gotten a bite on the PK stuff I've listed on Facebook yet. I've had it out there for 2 weeks, and I've listed it for half of what I paid for it. So we'll see. Yeah, Russ has got an auto wild. Russ, how are you using it a lot? Let me hang on just a second. Let's see if Russ wants to join us. Uh, Russ, I'm going to post the link in here if you'd like to jump in with us. I'm going to post the link in the comments. Uh, if you'd like to join in with us, I'd like to talk about that auto wild because I'd like to hear your experience with it, how well you've been able to tame the heat that thing produces. It's crazy how
It's
hot that
crazy.
thing gets. Yeah. I've had a difficult time with it. I've done some amazing food in it though. One of the things I like to do is something like a Chilean sea bass fillet in an iron pan
Yeah.
in the auto wild. That does really well. Uh, the auto wild's also real good at doing quick blisters like green beans. Uh, I wanted to try scallops in it, and I haven't done that yet. So maybe we'll do that. Uh,
John, could you put a salt board in that auto wild?
a salt block.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You probably could, but it's not something I'd do. Ryan, glad you could make it with us tonight. Uh, what Ryan's asking, what's in the current arsenal? Okay, I've got the Kamado Joe Classic 2, the Classic 3, the Pellet Joe. I've got the Karubacue C60. I've got the here's Russ. Let's bring Russ in here with us. Hey Russ, I've got the PK Grill Aaron Franklin edition. I've got the PK Go. I've also got the Kettle Joe. I've got the Napoleon Gas Grill. Uh, I've got the 26-inch Weber kettle. What am I missing here, Jeff? Have I skipped
You
anything?
didn't say the bark.
I've got the bark. I've got the Myron Mixon bark, and I've got this A-Smoke AS700P pellet grill that I've done some content on. That I'm going to be rolling that thing out of here in short order. I'm not a big fan of that grill. How's it going in Mississippi, Russ?
Oh, it's going, man.
So what's your opinion on the Auto Wild? Have you loved that thing?
I'll tell you the truth. I'd forgotten it. Sat out here in the garage forever, and probably 6 months ago, Derek come by here, so we loaded it up on a truck with some other things. It's over Mobile. It's there in case I need it for anything. But the only steak I've ever done with it was when I first got it. Did a video with it. But primarily, what I use it for, I melt cheese like on po' boys and things
Yeah.
like that. I hardly ever use it like with steaks. It just
It's a really great tool for putting a quick browning on the top of something that's already cooked. I'm
yeah
with you on that, but
yeah
it's $1,000 tool to do that.
yeah. It's pricey. It really is.
Have you seen any of the less expensive versions of that thing?
I have what they call one the beefer or something like
Right,
that.
the
Yeah,
Beefer's one, and there's several others. If you get on Amazon and look for broilers and salamanders, you'll see several of them out there that I think they start in the $250 price range and go up from
yeah.
there.
That Auto Wild is German made, and you can
Yes,
tell, man, that thing's got some heft to it. It's
it
built.
is.
It's
It's
built good.
extremely well built. There's no doubt about it. It's probably the best built of all of them.
It
But
is. It's like all these Chinese, Vivor. Most of that stuff is Chinese. What they do is they see these products out there very high quality, and they go in there and manufacture something that works
yes,
for a whole lot less price. But it ain't built the same.
is that stand mixer you got the only Vivor product you have?
No, they reached out to me back. God, that's been 6 months ago, and offered me a ice machine, and it's a
Hmm.
little stand up ice machine, and
Right. I
I
saw
did,
that video too.
yeah, and so I did that one, and I must have sold a load of them because I looked a day or two later, and they were out of order, out of
Right.
stock. So a few days later, they listened back on there, and man, they just kept reaching out. Can we send you this? I said, look, I said, unless I need something for a particular video, I'm not interested. I said, I can't design a video wrapped around something you're wanting for the show. You know, they had these rotisseries like you use open fire, things I wasn't interested in, or things I've already got like meat stuffers and all that. And
things that you don't want to show your audience.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so I wanted the big mixer 10-quart, and the biggest reason I got that, I've got the smaller one, the what is it, KitchenAid, which is fine for pizza dough and anything like that. But when I make boudin, I make a lot of boudin, like 20 pounds. I wanted something, and with boudin, I don't grind it, I shred it. You know, I get it so tender and just shred everything, and then I stuff it, and that will do it. You know, that's the reason I wanted that. So I said, okay.
Does that thing have the heft that you believe is adequate for that process? Is it built well enough to
Oh my God, that thing, me and my wife couldn't hardly get it up on the counter. It is so heavy. Yeah. It come in a wood crate. I've got a meat saw, brand new. It'll be on the video real soon. It came from them. That's something else I wanted. I've been wanting one for years when I used to process my own hogs and everything, but I've got a bandsaw. It's in a wood crate, but they want to keep sending me this stuff. Hey, I'll keep taking it till I don't need nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, Tom Horseman, do you know Tom?
Yeah, I know him.
Tom reviews a lot of content of Vevor, but a lot of it's not barbecue stuff. Tom will do a review on about anything he can get his hands on, and he's done a lot of it. And I asked him about Vevor, and he's the one that told me, if you want to work with them, you need to go follow this link. So that's what I did. But like I said, I'm set up as an affiliate for Vevor, but the product that I have available to me to request samples on, currently there's nothing out there that I would want to show my audience. I'm working, to see, like I said, there's that one specific piece that I think is something I could sell to my audience, and it's that spiral mixer, because I've got a lot of people in my audience that make pizza, and I do believe I've got a fairly significant number of people in there that would put $500 into a dough mixer of that nature. So
I'll tell you what I can do. I can take the woman that I deal with, and if you want me to give her your email address and tell her I know you, and see where that goes, because now they don't accept everything. I wanted a bowl chopper.
Right.
I was going to do them hot dog wieners, and I wanted them highly emulsified, and they would not send me that because I only had like 2 in stock. If it's something, they got to be well stocked to where they can actually sell them. That's the whole purpose of.
Well, the representative that I'm dealing with said that she was going to go to her superiors or whatnot and see if she could get this spiral mixer put on the list as something I could get, and I haven't heard back on that yet. So it's not that it's not going to happen, but if it doesn't happen, it's something I'm going to buy, because it's something I want.
All that you would have to do if you're which I haven't asked for that one. I took that other one instead. I did see the one you're talking about. But all they would, if they got enough in stock and gave it to you, then all they ask is a 5-minute dedicated video, which you're really good at anyway.
Well, the first video I would do would be, I always do a minimum of 2. I do the walk around demo, and then I'm going to use it to make pizza. And I told them that when I contacted them initially. I said, I'm getting ready to start a 12 video series during the year. I'm going to do 1 pizza video a month for the entire year. And I told him, I said, I'd love to have that mixer to use in all 12 of those videos.
Sure. So, yeah.
And,
they sent me a dough sheeter. I've used it on a couple of those pizza videos, and I don't think she cared for the way I done that. What I mean is, I did not do a dedicated video. I said, look, I'm going to use it, I know, on 3 videos. How about that instead of a dedicated video? And I did. And it was it was too short of a mention, I reckon, for them. So since then, they said, could you please do the 5-minute video? Then you can use it whatever, whenever.
Right.
All we require is a 5-minute video. That's not a
Yeah.
bad trade-off for some of that
Right.
stuff, you know.
But this spiral mixer is a big deal in the pizza world because it makes it that mixer builds a gluten network in the dough much faster and much easier when you're doing a higher hydration dough. Uh, and Jeff, you know, when we were working with some of those high hydration doughs that we were doing during the pandemic, this mixer would have done that where we were doing stretching and folding over time. You know, 12 minutes or so in this spiral mixer would have been all you had to do. You've seen how they work, and that
Yeah.
motion that they have,
It's
really
it's a nice mixer. I just don't know that I could justify it.
Well, I think I agree there. I think it's hard to justify unless you're making pizza frequently. But somebody like take Luca for instance. You know,
Luca would
Freddie's
eat it
got
up.
one, but Luca's making enough pizza. Anybody that's cooking a lot of pizza and doing pizza multiple times a month, this is a tool that would fit in their arsenal. Russ, the spiral mixer, the thing about it, it's not really good at anything but making dough. I don't know how well the spiral mixer would work for anything other than doughs, but I like making bread, and also that spiral mixer, that particular one's I can't remember what the capacity on it is. I think it may be a 7-quart bowl. It's borderline where you're going to need to make a dough recipe that starts out with. I don't know if you can make a 500-gram flour batch of dough in it or not until I could try it.
Yeah.
It may be one where you need to start out with a kilogram of flour.
Gotcha.
So it all depends. I won't know how small of a dough batch I can pull off in it until I could try it. You know, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to try to find that thing. I'm on the right website? I think so.
Jarrell's with us.
What's it called? A spiral mixer?
Yeah, if you go to vivor.com or whatever, look for the spiral mixer. It's I can't remember. You'll find it if you search for spiral mixer. It's the only one like it. It's not even got a paddle or a.
Yeah, I've seen it before on here. Oh well, yeah, I've seen it. I just I'll do that later.
I'll grab it. I'll pull it up because it's definitely something that I think is worth having. I don't have my affiliate link.
Who do you contact when you're just asking people, like, as far as affiliate link? Do you know her name, the one you talk with?
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up in my email here in a second. I'm looking at their list. Here it is. Let me share this screen out. The price on it's changed since the last time I looked at it also.
$570.99.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
Ross.
that's it. Yeah. That's a cool looking little mixer, man.
Yeah. But like I said, it's not good for anything but making dough.
Yeah.
Well, when I looked at this last week, it was like $539. It's gone up a few dollars, but it's that's the one, and that's what I want to call a really right tool for bread and pizza.
Says in stock. I'll tell you what, tomorrow I'm gonna email her. Her name is Sylvia. That's the reason I was asking you, did you know the woman's name? Because if you've already been in conversation with her, then she already knows about you. But
let me have a look.
But I'm sure it's a big company, and this woman is more or less in charge of finding talent to create videos using her products. So you might not have talked with her yet, and she don't know about you. She's asked me to send her to people before, you know.
Mine is Patricia, and these people are in China, so I'm not sure if that's their real name or not. you can tell that that English is not their first language in these emails.
Yeah.
But the one that I'm dealing with is signing off as Patricia.
Okay.
But,
different. That's what I thought. So it might do you some good if I just send her an email, because she's asked me numerous times, did I know any other creators that they could reach out to?
Heck yeah, put my name in her list, because she might be more equipped to deal with what I'm doing than this other one that I'm currently dealing with, and I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll do that first thing. Well, tonight or in the morning, I'll do it for sure. Matter of fact, I will CC you to the email.
Okay.
To where she's got it,
That'd be awesome. Andres, welcome aboard. New to the channel, Man Cave and Bourbon. This is a former paratrooper. Thanks for your service. Heck yeah.
Somebody's wanting you to drop a link to that mixer if you still got it open.
Okay, I do still. Well, no, I don't. Hang on, I'll get it back. And I'm going to drop the link to this mixer in the comments. What I need to do is give you my affiliate link.
Yeah, there you go.
I set up an affiliate link, but I don't have access to my affiliate link on this laptop. If you decide to buy one, let me know. Let me at least give you my affiliate link for it. I posted the link out here because I don't. What do they pay a commission on their affiliate links, Russ? I haven't sold anything through them yet.
I'm not even an affiliate, man. I do these videos, and that's as far as it goes. I do their one little 5-minute video, then it's mine after that to do whatever, whenever, you know.
So
I was telling
Drew,
somebody.
There's the link, Drew, if you want to have a look at that. But do me a favor, sir, if you decide to buy one, let me know and let me give you a different link to buy it under. It won't cost you any extra, but it'll help me out.
Exactly. Plus, it'll ring up as a sale for them, which is a good thing.
And if I can make some sales through some affiliate links with this company, it might make it easier for them to say, hey, we're going to let John have some more of that product, and I can show you more product. I love doing demos for you guys. I love doing product demos, but if you go back through my history on Man Cave Meals, some of the product demos that I've done are product that's been provided to me, but a lot of the product demos that I've done are stuff that I've paid for, and I really like doing it. One of my mantras is I'm not going to take a product to do a demo on if I don't believe in the product.
Exactly.
I don't want to show you a product, and I don't want to make a demo video if it's a product that I don't think I'd like. And I turn down that stuff. And I know people like Russ do the same thing.
Every day.
We're not gonna waste time. We're not gonna make a video just because somebody's giving us a product. I've turned down more product than I've taken for that very reason. And there's certain companies I've reached out to say, hey, can I have your product? And I'm going to do this for you with it. Some of them are receptive to that, and some of them aren't. But like I said, this Vivor company has already said, John, please take this. And I've turned down the 2 things that they've suggested that they send me already, because I don't think it's not something I would buy. If it's not something I would buy, I don't want to show it to you.
Yeah.
But this mixer is something I'd buy. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff that I wouldn't own. It just looks cheap, and But I've been super impressed ever since I got that dough sheeter. I'm like, my God, this thing is heavy, and it's really is commercial built.
That's the reason I decided to take a look at this company. It's because of some of the stuff I've seen Tom Horseman do demos on.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff is Chinese made, and it's knockoff of stuff that's already available somewhere else in the market.
Sure.
But the stuff that Tom has demoed looks to me to be of sufficient quality, especially at the price point that some of this stuff's coming in here at. And if you don't want to buy Chinese made product, I got no problem with that. There's a $1,400 or $1,500 version of this mixer that you can buy that. And I don't even know where it's made. Jeff, is that mixer that Freddie's got made in Europe? Is it a European?
Italy.
Correct? It's Italian. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name brand of that thing right off the top of my head.
Starts with an M.
Yeah. I don't remember what it is. It's pretty. They come in different paint jobs. You know, you can get
Yep.
a candy apple red. You can get one that looks like a 57 Chevy. But Russ is with me on that. It don't matter what it looks like as long as it works.
That's
If
it.
it does what
Yep.
it's supposed to do. So, heck yeah.
Yeah. I don't have no problems with buying stuff made. I mean, iPhones are made in China. You know, I mean, they got good stuff and they got bad stuff. It all depends on what it is. You know.
Yeah, well, the where it's made, that's one of the things I keep trying to convince myself of is if there's a quality problem, it's the company's quality spec. It's not who's making it or where it's made.
Exactly, including the iPhone. It's American company that's overseeing, but they can have it done so much cheaper over there. So the operation is over there.
And one of the things I like, you know, in the grill world, you know, I think most of these Big Green Egg is one. Big Green Eggs are made in Mexico. The only Kamado grill I'm aware of that's made in the United States is Primo. And I've never cooked on a Primo, but I've seen Primo. You know, I've been standing in front of Primo grills before, but it's all about that company. You know, if you've got a company like Kamado Joe that's having grills manufactured in China, if there's a quality issue, it's not the Chinese manufacturer's fault. It's Kamado Joe's fault. You know, it's
exactly right.
They set the quality standard, and if their manufacturing is not meeting the quality standard, that's an internal problem that needs to be addressed. And I've seen that happen during the time I've been with Kamado Joe. I remember I've heard some stories from the inside of where some process changes and manufacturing changes. Yep, Jeff.
Time out. Mom is in the house.
Mom's here. Oh yeah. She's making you a scrub cap, Jeff. So
you take your time. You get to it whenever you get to it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And my mom, I figured she's here fussing at me, wanting to know why I'm not trying to catch some sleep since I'm getting up in about 4.5 hours.
Oh, you gotta go to work in 4.5 hours? My goodness.
No, Russ, my mom's having a shoulder replacement surgery tomorrow, and I've got to pick her up at 3 a.m. and have her in Charlotte, North Carolina by 5 a.m.
Okay.
For 7 a.m. surgery. So yeah, and that's why we're not having a regular live stream tomorrow night. I'm staying with her tomorrow night, and you know, we'll get that taken care of in short order.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you can get me a more solid contact at Vivor of somebody that's dealing with content creators. I don't know if my person, haven't gotten any indication that she really understands what I'm doing.
Yeah, it don't sound like it. I think the one I talked to is really kind of, that's all she does is recruit.
Yeah.
You know, content creators to show their products. And,
but the product I have seen from these companies is good. And if I understand that mixer costs a little bit. The mixer they offered me was $110 knockoff of a KitchenAid, you know, a planetary mixer.
Yeah.
And they offered me some $110 meat slicer. And I looked at the meat slicer, and after I looked at it, it's not something that I would buy. So it's not something I want to show. I don't want to waste the time showing it to my audience since it's not something I would buy. And
that's where I'm at. And I dive deep into that site, and I didn't know they made them saws. I just happened to run across them. My God, what do they not make? You know, but a lot of it I wouldn't want. You know, but I hear their food warmers and all that's just fine. You know, but once I get pretty much all I think I can possibly want or use, and that'll just be it. I just won't do no more videos.
Hey, Russ, they've got something you should look at. And I don't know if it's something you need or not, but it's something I saw. They make some stainless steel prep tables.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably pretty decent.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't need one. I've got one on wheels. It's 5 foot by 24 inches, I think it is. And
Right.
I've got one of these, those plastic cutting board material. I've got one that covers the entire thing, 3/4 inch thick. They didn't give me the cutting board. A friend of mine had it cut out and made for it. But that's
Right.
before I was working with them, but I don't really need one right now. But
Yeah, but they've
that
got
is,
the only stuff they've got that I'm interested in is look. I looked at this. I'm looking at stuff in their restaurant and food service category.
yeah,
Uh, I don't care much about their battery chargers or
nah,
their stuff that's not related to cooking, but they do have some stuff in the cooking arena that I think my audience would be interested in. And the price point of this stuff is the same kind of price point you're finding at like Websteront store.
yeah,
Uh, and the Websteront store stuff's all made in China also, and it
oh
may
yeah,
even be made in the same plants that this stuff's made in.
could
It's
be
got a
just
different name on it. So
rebranding.
yeah, you know how
Rebranding.
that works.
Yeah.
I've seen so many accessories in the barbecue world that are identical, other than the brand name. You know, it's all being made in the same place, and it's being sold to different
Yeah.
Yep.
resellers here in the U.S. That Only Fire Company is one of them. You know, they make a lot of product for uh, a lot of grilling accessories, and in fact, I've got a few pieces of that I bought here and there. Um, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
You were talking
yeah,
about Kamados. I know there's kind of like what do they call that? The Kong and
mm,
different ones that look almost identical. Those are like a generic Chinese
yeah.
Kamado that are rebranded. And I've seen two or three different brands that looked identical.
I'm trying to remember the name brand of the one that's the ceramic Kamado that kind of competes in the Kamado Joe world. It's not Kong. It's Jeff. Help me out here. What's the one that's got it's got like the stainless steel thin metal top vent on it.
Oh, that's the S&S grills.
No, it's not SNS.
Okay.
It's close to that though, but it's one that Costco. I think Costco used to sell these,
Hmm.
and I can't remember the brand name on it at the
It's
moment.
not the Louisiana one, is it?
No, but
Louisiana grills.
it looks like that, and it may be from the same plant. It's
Gorilla
Well,
grills.
Louisiana grills and Pit Boss ceramic grills are made at the same company, just different
yeah,
brands on.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name brand on it is at the moment. I'd have to dig it up, but it's I don't know. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
I had
but
a
if you
couple of those S&S Kamados, and they got some good ceramics. It looks to me just like what I remember the Kamado Joe's having. Matter of fact, David Paris said it was the same ceramics as the Big Green Egg or anything like that.
mm,
And the only thing I didn't like about that Kamado, he had a weak hinge on there. You could pick the lid up and move it side to
right,
side very easily. I didn't like that.
yeah, that hinge is. I think the hinge is a big deal.
Yeah.
Kamado Joe's hinge is incredible, and I think the Big Green Egg hinge is pretty solid. And I think the Primo hinge is pretty solid. But I haven't stood in front of all these, but I have been in several big box stores like Academy Sports, for instance. They've got a couple of cheap ceramic Kamados that have been through there that are just like you say. When you pick that lid up,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
got side to side play on it. There's
Yeah.
no way I would.
That
I
Kamado
would
Big Joe I used to have, man, that thing had a massive hinge, and
yeah,
you could take your finger and just lift it up so easily. It's
right.
like, wow.
Well, that airlift hinge was a big deal.
Yeah.
That's still unique. I don't know. Jeff, does Primo have that now? Does Primo have a lift assist?
They have some type of lift assist, but it doesn't look like the same type of hinge.
I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen anybody else produce that feature yet on the Kamados, and it's a
That hinge
nice
is a great game
feature.
changer for sure.
That's
It
one thing
is.
about Kamado Joe. They're always innovating,
Yeah.
unlike a lot of these other Kamado people. It's a
Well,
Kamado and that's all it is.
Russ, I'm curious. I'm curious about what's coming next from Kamado Joe because we haven't seen anything new on the Kamado line in a good while now. So
That's true.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm curious about what might be coming down the pipe.
Well,
I'm not on the inside in any way with that company anymore, so I don't know what's going on in terms of new product. But
Masterbuilt bought them out, didn't they, from
well,
Bobby?
there's several. The company that owned Masterbuilt
Yeah.
bought Kamado Joe. It wasn't Masterbuilt itself, and it since has been bought out by another group. So they're all under some other group now, and I don't know what the name of it is, but Char Griller, the Acorn people,
Yeah.
that group, whatever it is, whoever it is that owned that now owns all of this, and it's
Oh, okay.
Same group that owns the
yeah,
Viking ranges.
Yeah.
it's so I started out on the Acorn,
I
and
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, there may come a time where I bring another one here. I haven't made up my mind on that yet.
My
So
highest viewed video to date was done on that classic, Kamado Classic that I won from your
yeah,
hamburger contest. And when
yeah,
it hit 1 million views, I remember posting it on my personal Facebook. And Bobby Brennan, isn't that his name?
uh-huh, yeah,
He seen that post. He goes, "Hey man, looks like you're about due for an upgrade, huh?"
yeah,
So I messaged him. I said, "Yeah, I want." He asked me, "Do I want another classic or a Big Joe?" I said, "I want the Big Joe."
yeah,
Like that. So he sent it to me.
yeah.
And that same video, though, within the following year, it got another million. After it hit,
Which video is that?
it was a prime rib. If you go to
Mhm.
my page, it's at the very top left under most
Yeah,
popular videos, and that was Kamado Classic of all the pits I've had. They got all those views back then.
I don't think I've got any videos that have 1 million views yet. My most viewed video is my most viewed video on the Man Cave Meals channel is a demo / review of the Weber Go Anywhere portable charcoal grill.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And on the Kamado Joe channel, I had one that went viral there because it got picked up by the Huffington Post. And the only reason it went viral is because there was an optical illusion happening in that video with some liquid that I was swirling that made the screen look like it was twisting.
Ah. Okay.
And somebody at the Huffington Post made a post about it, and that video got like 500,000 views in 5 days.
Yeah, that's what you want more when they break out like that.
Yeah, but I noticed that the Kamado Joe channel finally went over 100,000 subscribers
Did it?
recently. So
Is Chef
yeah,
Eric still doing videos for them, or
he is.
okay?
I think
I quit watching the videos when you left. I don't know. I lost interest.
Chef Eric is a great cook. He is, and I learn a lot from watching him. But Chef Eric's audience and my audience aren't quite the same people.
No.
A lot of people, I feel, are intimidated sometimes by the complexity of some of the stuff that Chef Eric does, and some of his video content's not complex at all, but some of it is. And
Yeah.
There's I don't know. I like Chef. I watch all of his videos. I watch every single video they put out there. So
I met him at the New Orleans Barbecue Expo back in 2020, right when COVID started up. And I met him, and he had some sort of big salmon laid out there with all this. Man, it was fancy,
Yeah.
And didn't really get a chance to talk to him because he was busy cooking and everything. But I did get to meet him briefly,
He's great.
He's a good guy.
I've cooked with Eric quite a few times, and I've learned a lot from him, and I admire his ability. He's like a Kamado magician. There's nothing he can't pull off on a grill.
Yeah.
And so they're still putting video content. I think they're putting out about one video a week. Chef, every now and then they get together, and they've got a production team that helps him put these videos together, I believe, and they'll do like somewhere between 8 and 12 videos at a time, several times a year. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's why like a video that he might have published yesterday looks like he's in a summertime environment somewhere, because it might have been warm weather when they made that video. But that's not here. I'm a one-man production company, and I'm usually producing the video 2 or 3 days before it publishes. I don't often get myself very far ahead on video content. During the Christmas season, I try to get all of December's videos done in November, where I don't have to shoot any video in December if I don't want to.
I have never been able to get ahead of the game, even though that's all I do now.
Yeah.
It's just like, which I hit Facebook, my page over there is way bigger than my YouTube, and I have to pound that every day with something, But so I stay busy. Chris,
Russ, yeah.
yeah,
Let me get Russ's channel up here, and I'll put a link. Yeah, you definitely need to be subscribed to Russ's videos. I'll get you a link here. So I'm posting the link to Russ's YouTube channel in the comment stream here. So it's out there. It's Smoky Ribs Barbecue. You'll find him. Russ, you've got a shit ton of subscribers now. You're up to 261K. Dadgum. I'm wondering, Russ. I'm asking myself where I might be today if I had not stopped what I was doing to go exclusive with Kamado Joe.
You were ahead of me back in them days by quite a bit. I'm looking up like, man, I hope to be that big one day. And, I forget what you were at. You were like 13,000 or something like that then.
I was at about 14 or 15,000 when I stopped to go exclusive with Kamado Joe.
And I was down there like 1,000, maybe, if even that, So I'm looking up like you're a big channel. Then, I think if you would have kept going without that, you'd probably be right there with me and Greg and all of us,
It's sad because right now I'm only at 25,000. I've got 25.2K on my subscriptions right now. I'm trying to get it going again, and it'll pick back up as I continue to post regular new content to it.
Yeah,
so
it will.
But I could have been. I would expect that I would have been over 200 or 250K by now.
Oh yeah, I know you would have.
Yeah.
Views, everything would have went up. I did a video today, and I hate doing these kind of videos, but my wife wanted it because I got the email way back. I had to go find it because our nugget ice machine went out, and my wife said, "Golly, I love my little nugget ice machine." I said, "Well, I got an email a couple of weeks ago, somebody wanting to give me one, for a video." She goes, "Get it." I'm like, So I got it, and I did a little 5-minute review today. That video ain't gonna do squat. I know it ain't. I looked earlier. I think in 3 hours, it's only gotten like 800 views, if even that. Crap.
Well, it's one of those things. You do what you got to do. If you need it or want it, then you'll find a way to make it happen.
Right. And so I did. Like I can eat the, bite the bullet right now and go ahead. And she's in there. She's happy with it. So
yeah. I guess Karen wants to know what we do besides barbecue.
This is all I do now, which I don't do just barbecue. Anybody that knows my channel knows that I do all kind of things, and I probably do more of the stuff than I do the barbecue, really. But I mix it all up. I have to. I get sick of barbecue.
I'm the only one here, Karen.
Blasphemy!
Jeff and Russ are both retired. I haven't reached retirement age yet, so I work as an X-ray tech. I'm a full-time X-ray tech at a local hospital, and that's my, if you want to call it a real job, that's what I'm doing. So Jeff's hobby is woodworking, and Jeff, I can't wait to show you. Jeff has put something in the mail to me that'll be here Friday that I can't wait to show you guys. Jeff's made me a cutting board that I'm excited about. Yeah.
I had a guy send me, it was on my life. You seen it if you seen the video. He said he was sending me something, and it came in. I looked, and it was a state of Mississippi.
Yes. And a cutting board.
Yeah, I thought it was just a plaque or something, and it said cutting board. I'm like, oh, cool. And I got to look, and it's made out of bamboo.
Yep.
That's nice of him, you know.
You decided to hang it in your barbecue shed there
Yeah.
instead of using it.
Matter of fact, I need to tell Derek to make sure that it's hung up before we shoot our next video because I've already said it's gonna go right
That was
here.
really cool. That looks like some work that was done on a glow forge. And my wife has a glow forge in the lab at school where she works, and I'm wanting to do a cutting board with my logo etched on it like that. And I
Well,
gotta
John,
find.
take that cutting board that I'm sending you and put your
Oh,
logo on it.
no. We're not.
That's 9.4 pounds of wood sitting there in that
No.
cutting board.
We're not.
Man,
We're
that's a
not
big
etching
one.
that. I want to buy an inexpensive one to try it on first before I buy a higher end board to etch my Man Cave Meals logo on. But I do have the 2-color version of my Man Cave Meals logo now that I can etch or engrave or go to a 2-color process with. So we're gonna try it. I'm probably gonna buy like a 12 by 16 booze block or something that's not very expensive and put that logo on there and see how it pans out. All right, well, guys, I need to shut down. I have got to call it a day because I am 4 hours.
You're on mom patrol tomorrow, buddy.
I'm 4 hours and 15 minutes away from having to get up and start my day tomorrow.
Yeah, you better get some sleep, man.
Yep. So, Russ, I appreciate you hanging out with us Sunday night. I'm gonna hang out with you one night when you're going live. Let me know ahead of time if you can when you're gonna do it, and I'll try.
I will. Matter of fact, I think what I'm gonna do next time I go live, whenever that is, instead of posting a link like I did that night, I was getting people in there I didn't know who they were. I think I'm just gonna arrange it ahead of time and say, hey, what's a good time, good day, good night, and get like you and maybe who else was I thinking of? Somebody else. At least me and you, and then the next time I'll get somebody else. Just that way I can keep people from clicking on it that I have no idea who they are, you know.
That one guy, I saw that one guy show up in there. And it's like, I can't. I said, Russ doesn't know who this guy is. He's just out there.
This guy, like he was stoned out of his mind on something, man.
Yeah.
Weird.
All right.
It was very strange.
Sounds good. Well, y'all have a good week, and I will see you back here. We'll be back live again next Thursday night.